Hello, this is Mr. Rasmussen, and welcome to Algebra 2, Lesson 83 on variable exponents. This lesson basically is taking our exponents, so you've got x here and x here, we normally add those, we still add them, it's just going to look a little different, maybe a bit different, because we have fractions in here and some with two terms in the exponent. I'm going to work through the three examples in the lesson just so you can see how that's done, and then you can pause the video and then you can do the practice problem and then compare your work and your answer to mine. So let's get started here. First of all, we've got an x here and an x here. So to combine those, just like we normally would, we would add the two exponents. So that's going to be x, we have an a plus, however this one's a fraction, a over 2. So just like we do to add fractions, we get a common denominator. That common denominator is going to be 2, so that means the 2, the bottom and top of this first term. And if I rewrite that, adding those, I get 3a over top of 2 as a fractional exponent. Let's do the same thing over here for my two y's. For my two y's, I get y 2x, we'll put that as a fraction like that, over 1 plus 3x over 4. Once again, my common denominator, it's going to be 4. So I actually have 4 on the top and a 4 on the bottom. It's going to change the top to an 8x. And when I add those, I get 11x over 4. So let's write out our answer. We have y. Instead of writing it like a fraction like this, they write it in one line, 11x, and then do a little diagonal to indicate then you're going into the denominator. And there is my answer for example 1. All right, example 2 is really the same thing. It just sets it up as division first. So the first thing we're going to do is take it out of division and put it all into one line. So I have x a minus 2 from the top. And if I bring this up, remember we just flip it, it becomes a negative exponent. So I'm going to write that as x minus a divided by 2. Notice that's divided by there. All right. And then do my y's over here, y a plus 4, and then y, as I bring this up, minus 2a. All right, let's deal with this first one here. Since it's over 2, I'm going to get a common denominator. My common denominator is going to be 2, which means I multiply the whole top by 2. So let me write that out down here. 2a minus 4 minus a, and now that's all on top of 2 for my exponent for x. Can anything combine up here? Yes, it can. I've got a 2a here minus an understood 1a. So as I do that, 2 minus 1 is just a. So I get a minus 4. And then once again, that's all over top of 2. So I can, if I separate these out, right over here, a over 2 minus 4 over a. Obviously, this one can reduce to 2. So let me write the ending result. X is a divided by 2, or the denominator, minus 2. All right, let's come up here and look at my y's. My y is a little more simple because I don't have any fractions in there. So I simply have a plus 4 minus 2a. There's an understood 1 here, and so my a's can combine. 1 minus 2 gives me a negative a, and then plus 4 as my y exponent. So I'll just write that down here once again. Y minus a plus 4 as an answer there. All right, let's look at example 0.4. This one here has exponents of exponents. Now, just like reminded where we add these, well, these exponents, when we want to remove the parentheses, we actually multiply. So we're going to indicate, even though we don't have the numbers to do that, we're going to indicate that with the variables. With this one here, the first step though is going to bring this one up top. So I'm going to bring that up top, and remember it becomes a positive as I do that. And then now I'm going to rewrite this whole thing, removing my parentheses. So I'm going to get x, ab, multiplication, y, a, parentheses, b plus 2, right? Because the whole thing is multiplied out. Let's actually multiply that out. because that may combine with some things. May not. AB plus 2A, and then my XA. And they do further simplify this one. They have two x's here, so once again they simplify it. The function will be to add, so they actually write xab plus a, because that's what you do with those, then yab plus 2a, and that is my simplified answer there. Okay, go ahead and try the practice problems, and when you're ready, then come and unpause the video and take a look at it. I'm going to do those right now. Okay, practice problem A. Once again, we've got my x's that line up. So here's my x, and that's going to be m plus m divided by 5. I got to get a common denominator. My common denominator is going to be 5, so I got 5 on top and bottom. What is that going to do for my m's? Well, 5m, 1m, that gives me x, 6m, and then over a denominator of 5, and I'll write it that way. All right, and then we look at the a's, and the a is 3x. I'll write it as a fraction because I know my second one's a fraction, and then plus x over 2 as a fraction. Common denominator here is going to be 2 multiplied by 2. That's going to make this a 6x on top. If I add those, right, I'm going to get a 7x as these two add over a denominator of 2. So I'll write it over here for my final answer. 7x divided by 2 as a fractional exponent. And that is the answer to practice A. All right, moving on to practice B. First step, I'm going to write those up there and get it all into numerator. So I'm going to have m, a minus 2, and then this here is m minus a divided by 3. And then p, a plus 1, p minus 2a. All right, let's work with these here. This one up here, once again, I need to find a common denominator. It's going to be 3. So it's 3a minus 2 like that, minus a over 3. Let's get multiply, remove my parentheses. In moving my parentheses, I'm going to get a 3a minus 6 minus a, and all that is over one denominator there as an exponent for m. Is there anything I combine? Yes, I've got the 3a minus a, and so when I do that, I get 2a, and then actually I get 2a, and then if you were to separate 2a minus 6, but if you were to separate these out like this, then this last term here actually reduces to 2, and so they write their answer as m 2a denominator 3 minus 2. That's how they get that notation. All right, let's look at the second one here. This one doesn't have a denominator of fractions, so that should be a little more straightforward. So as we add these, we have the a here and the negative 2, so we get p 1 minus negative 2 is a negative a plus 1, and that one's pretty straightforward. That's what you get for that one there. Okay, moving on to example C. Example C, first of all, I'm going to move my m up and make it positive so everything's in the numerator. And then I'm going to remove my parentheses. M x times z is simply written as x times z. Z, you have a 1 here, so 1 times that actually doesn't change that. It looks that way. And then my mx. And so it's not much change in there when I remove my parentheses. Then these are similar terms, and so they combine those by writing m x z and then plus x, because that's what you would normally do, and then z m plus 3, and that is my answer for practice problem C. All right, once again, got to really keep straight track of what's a fraction and what's not inside those exponents and be orderly in your work. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact me and we'll work through it. Have a great day.